And so you had mentioned that the Finchley Boys would come in and change your clothes to the punk,
yeah.
garb more or less.
Well, this was in the early.
Yeah. At what point did you really did the Stranglers fully become associated with the punk scene? I mean, do you know what I'm asking?
During all this period.
Yeah.
I would say.
But I guess because it seemed as if you were playing clubs that were not punk oriented, so they felt that they couldn't bring their clothes in.
Oh, I see. Well, this was really early days, This was really early days.
So it really just scared people, and it wasn't as widespread then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's great. They're like bringing their little, satchels in and changing their clothes,
Yeah, it's very funny.
What is your favorite Stranglers LP?
Well, I mean, because I'm playing Rattus these days, I'm really discovering a love for that album. I really think it is our best album. But my favourite album is The Men in Black. And I've said that many times. It's just because I thought we were at the top of our game as far as invention goes. We were using lots of different recording techniques and experimenting with the songs and stuff, and it was just great fun to make. So. So when you say something's your favourite, it's got to do with enjoyment, I suppose, and the enjoyment of making it. And I really
to the process.
Yeah, the process was great for making that album.
And that album was really the album that sort of that really was a full turn away from the first three. I mean, that really has a whole lot of effects, and there's a lot of I don't want to say funny weird stuff, but I'll say funny weird stuff, in there,
and it's great to listen to. I've heard it a couple of times, not recently, but I used to love hearing it with stereo headphones.
Oh yeah, like Waltz in Black has got the whole, and the laughing goes from one side to the other.
There's all stuff going on.
Oh yeah.
So it's a great stereophonic image. Yeah.
So there's sort of a myth out there about like you guys having a lot of bad luck around that time.
Absolutely right.
The whole Man in Black thing.
Yeah.
And why do you think that was?
No idea. Just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, the way the coin falls. But I think that when you start having negative thoughts and things, that negativity sort of you attract it. We were very doom and gloom at that time, and I think all that compounds itself. And
the four people. I mean, four people on a team also all feeling that way. I'm sure that can sort of compound. I mean, you walk into a room sometimes and you just feel it. Either there's somebody's just had an argument or something, and What kind of impacts were going on negative?
Well, we had all our equipment stolen in America just before we made that album. The bus, the equipment, everything stolen in New York. The driver had gone.
You're welcome.
The driver had gone by his apartment to have a visit the bathroom and have a shower and a shave, and left the truck outside for 15 minutes at 5 in the morning after playing a show in New York, and came down, it had gone.
Wow.
And they found it about 4 years later in a warehouse in the Midwest with I think Dionne Warwick's truck and a few other bands and various bits of equipment.
Oh my goodness.
And this was right at the beginning of our tour, so but we managed to continue the tour, and then a roadie had a heart attack, and a tour manager died, and there's lots of things.
Oh, that's almost like the poltergeist curse, or
It was. We did feel sort of, and then I'd got sent to jail.
Oh right. Oh, that was in that period of time.
That as well. So when a chain of events happen like that, you start getting this strange negative doom and gloom vibe, and actually making that album Men in Black almost seemed to exorcise it from us.
Well, I was going to ask you, what do you do when you're that negative to actually...
Because after that, Golden Brown came after that with the big success of Golden Brown, so Men in Black sort of exorcised all those things from us, I think.
Oh, very good. And I did see you on that tour in '81, I think that was probably, and at the door posted, it said no photographs, and I had spoken to you earlier just before you guys went on, and I guess all your equipment was rented because it had been stolen previously?
That's absolutely correct.
So was that a reason why you didn't want things photographed, because it really wasn't your setup, or was just that you guys were not...
I can't remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I can't remember the reasoning behind it.
Yeah. I actually met a lot of good friends at one of those shows because photographs weren't allowed, and I actually tried to take a photograph, and your bass player kicked the camera out of my hand.
Out of your hand?
Yes, out of my hand.
Dear.
Very precisely. Like, it didn't hit me. And I was like, wow, I'm pretty lucky. But then I met somebody in the audience who had like a little spy camera who was taking photos. And this is, long before digital, so they were just kind of gray and yellow. But, we exchanged phone numbers and became great friends. And, I'm like, I have to get those photos. But it's just one of those things, those like, Stranglers friends at gigs. Is there anybody that you would really love to collaborate with?
Well, I mean, at one stage I wanted to get Joe Zawinul, David Bowie, and Clem and me in a room together, which would have been interesting. I mean, Joe Zawinul was the only keyboard player I'd have liked to have worked with, but unfortunately he's died.
So I guess that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen.
When you left the Stranglers, how long did it take to actually sink in that you weren't in the band?
Well, quite a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, after being in something for so long.
Yeah.
Rather like going, I guess I've never been divorced.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never been married, but I've never been divorced. So I've obviously never been divorced. But I guess it must be the same sort of thing. It must take a while for it to sink in that you're actually not married to someone anymore, because it is like a marriage, being in a band. So yeah, it took quite a long time. Yeah.
Were there any like certain habits, like weekly habits that you had, and you'd get and be like, "Oh, it's time for rehearsal." Oh no, it's not.
No,
or something?
No,
okay.
Nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah.
It's much more psychological.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.